Is we on? Let me just say this, man. Is we on? Is we on? If we on, we on. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Hell in a Cell podcast. I'm your host, Bulletz Gotti. Y'all know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, now you know who I am. Yes, this is Hell in a Cell podcast. You know, we here to tell everybody thank y'all for all the support that y'all been giving us. You know what I'm saying? This podcast basically was under construction for a minute, and now we got our good footing in. You know what I'm saying? We got the channel monetized. You know what I'm saying? Salute to that. Peace, Queen. How are you? Make sure y'all smash the like button. The channel is monetized, so you know what I'm saying. We got a new beginning over here. It's a new movement. I'm promoting this. You know, y'all know I got the Bullets Gotti 2.0 over there, but this one right here is the new outlet, the new program, the new platform, Hell in the Cell. With me, my brother Snow Billy, Goddess Effect. How you doing, beautiful? How are you on this lovely evening? Um, I started this podcast with my brother Leak. Shout out to Leak. You know, behind the scenes, I call him Biggs Burke. You know what I'm saying? You don't see him, you don't hear him, but he in the cut. Um, my God, Snow Billy, me, myself, Bulls Gotti. Um, I'm a hard working man. You know, one thing about me, I got multiple platforms. That means seven streams of revenue. Seven streams of revenue. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody should have, seven streams of revenue. Because when you don't got seven streams of revenue, you ain't doing something, you doing something wrong or you ain't doing something right. But for the people that's coming in here, make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get it going. Let's smash that like button. Let's get this live stream going. Welcome to the Hell in the Cell podcast. Y'all know who it is. Y'all see the face. You know what I'm saying? It's Bullets Gotti. You know, let me just take the jacket off on my Mr. Rogers shit and let's get into the proceedings. A lot going on. A lot going on. A lot going on. Gotti, you still cool with Edie Matrix? Gentlemen love him. We good. Edie Matrix, shout out to him. So let's get into the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. A lot going on in these streets. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about my song. We're gonna talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, I made a controversial post on my Instagram about D Labby Davis. Now y'all know me. I done did a couple videos on Larry Davis on my first channel, on my second channel that I lost, and I did it on my third channel, which is the Bullets Gotti Show 2.0. And I'm addressing it here. Now, at the end of the day, a lot of people revere these so-called street legends. I had a dialogue conversation with my cousin, right? My cousin is a reputable, you know what I'm saying? Solid dude. You know, he don't want to do none of this internet shit. He don't like none of you niggas. You know, he said that a lot of these dudes that's on the internet is goofy. So he really don't want to tell his story. So we had a conversation about quite a few people. And the name Larry Davis came up. Now I had some people on my platform the other day was his family and they got mad and said, yo, fuck your family. Nicole, peace to you, beautiful. How you doing, Queen? Make sure y'all smash that like button. Come on, man. We need more motherfucking likes in here. Smash that like button. So individual came to my platform and said, yo, fuck you and fuck your family. You know, you disrespecting my family. First of all, I don't give a fuck about none of these so-called fake OGs. The niggas a rat. My cousin was in the yard when Larry Davis got stabbed up. I know the whole play-by-play what happened. Niggas be talking that shit from third hand or what they heard. I know what happened. All right. When he was in that fucking yard, And I'm gonna say how Blue Boy said it, but I'm gonna say it more in detail. Blue Boy was charging at a Jamaican nigga that was a chomo, right? Larry Davis gets up and protects the Jamaican chomo nigga, right? The Jamaican chomo nigga owed money and he was in violation. He chasing this nigga. This nigga get up, hit him with the cane. Instead of that nigga minding his fucking business, right? Like niggas supposed to do, mind they fucking business, he took it upon himself to get in something that wasn't his business. And that's why he got killed. Push past the bumper clot of him snitching on niggas in the street, snitching on niggas in the jail, dropping slips. This nigga was a motherfucking rat. Now, people online and people that is fanboys, they praise Larry Davis, right? But like I said, my cousin Sosa was in that yard. He told a story on my platform. You understand what I'm saying? My big homie Shorty Black, RIP, was in that yard. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all listen to these niggas that got on the platforms and was never in that yard. You understand what I'm saying? That's why niggas be caping and don't know who they caping for. How y'all cape? Y'all niggas say y'all against chomos, but y'all riding for a nigga that was protecting a chomo on the yard. In the yard. So I don't feel no sorry for no Larry Davis, bro. And I don't care if his family offended or what I said or whatever. I don't give D fucks, nigga. He's a rat, nigga. And he been a rat. And like my cousin said, he's a fucking snitch. It is what it fucking is. You understand what I'm saying? Just because he bust at police, anybody gonna bust a gun if you getting shot and somebody trying to kill you, whether it's a street nigga or whoever, you gonna bust your gun. That's not a hero. That's not a nigga that was. That's not no Nat Turner nigga. That's not a Huey P. Newton type of nigga. This nigga was a nigga that was robbing and killing. He was a hitman and he was a so-called drug dealer for the police, which he was. He was hustling for them. He ran off with their money. They came to collect. He could tell that sob story about, oh, my woman was addicted to drugs and shut the fuck up, man. Same thing with fucking the original 50 Cent, a nasty rat. I told y'all that on my platform way back on my first channel. That nigga was a rat. You know what I'm saying? And niggas got offended that I said that. But that's the truth. He was a snitch. He was on his deathbed snitching, singing. You know what I'm saying? He did bad. Like niggas don't revere that nigga. You go to Fort Greene when he got killed, they spit at that nigga in front of his baby mother and people that loved him, spit on him in his casket. How do people revere somebody that lined up his balls? He lined up his balls. He lined up Glaze. Glaze tell a story. He lined up another big homie. I don't know if he ever told the story, but I'm not gonna put him out. But he from Farragut. He lined him up to almost get killed by his boss. So we gotta stop idolizing these snake niggas, man, and these cowardly dudes, man. Every time I look at Bimmy, man, Bimmy, I'm gonna definitely get that message to Snow. That ain't no problem. Next time I holler at Snow, next time I speak to him, I'm gonna give that message. But yeah, what I was talking about, to skip my thoughts. I got you. I'm gonna link y'all up. That ain't no problem. I got you, homie. I got you. What the fuck was I talking about? It don't come to me. Yeah, it's like Benny, bro. Like, look at Benny, man. Benny, perfect example. He caused a lot of that issues that happened between E Money Bags and Big Nose Troy because dudes was protecting him, and certain dudes fell out with certain dudes. because they was protecting Bimmy. You know what I'm saying? That snake shit. You know what I'm saying? That nigga did bad, and look what he did. He bit the hand that fed him and got on the platform and tried to violate a preem while he fighting try to come home. You know what I'm saying? So these dudes be vermins, man. They be motherfucking cowardly snakes, man. You know, I got no respect for these dudes. Now, push past the bumper clock. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Rells Fargo, Jeezy Mula. Now, if y'all haven't heard about this Rells Fargo case, this dude is the baby father of Star Brim, right? He's a Crip, right? Now, all my through my travels and my travels in life, you know, as a young nigga outside, them Crip niggas always been grimy, dirty niggas. They not like the Crip niggas in LA that get money. These Crip niggas out here was never money getters. Just being honest with you. It was a select few that was money getters, and the rest of them was a bunch of grimy niggas that was shooters and robbers, right? And they somehow got into the bad game when they got into the music industry or the party promotion, and they started getting into the credit card scamming shit. The credit card scamming game, you know, growing up was never something that me and my niggas wanted to do or anything that niggas that came up before me wanted to do. That was for gay niggas. That was for bitches. That was never for niggas in the street. So I never considered a scammer nigga a street nigga. I looked at a scammer nigga as a soft nigga that was scared to get it popping in the streets with the hammer. You know what I'm saying? And was scared to get his hands dirty in the drug game. So soft niggas was able to flourish in the scamming game. But I never considered a scammer nigga as a street nigga. You know, that's some new shit now. Y'all look at these 1090 scraps and fucking OPs and y'all think these niggas are street niggas. You know, we know these niggas. You know, I seen OP get stripped in my hood and get robbed. You know what I'm saying? A nigga run around with the niggas that lined them up to get robbed. You know what I'm saying? So I never respected none of them scammer niggas. I never did, and I never will. You know what I'm saying? I always looked at them as soft niggas. You know, um, and that's why if you look at fucking yeah, that's a fact. That's why when you look at Jeezy Mula and his boss, who was Chinaman, shout out to Chinaman, because I had Chinaman on my channel. And I think that's why Jeezy got mad. But when you look at the scammer niggas, you know, these dudes is like, come on, man. They not real niggas at all, bro. They they gotta hustle for taking nigga shit. I can't respect no nigga that take other niggas shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all respect niggas that take niggas shit and rob niggas? Like that don't make no sense to me. You know, like these people is what y'all claim is real street niggas. A scammer? Y'all think a scammer is a real street dude? And then when you look at the what these niggas do, they bunch of dumb fucking idiots. All of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I told y'all. I never considered scamming niggas as street niggas. They was niggas that couldn't get in the field and sell a pack, or they couldn't get in the field and rob a nigga. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do that. Because if they could have did that, salute, Mr. Wall, put in some work and sell some bricks, these niggas would have been respected in the street. These niggas, that game was for hoes, my niggas. That scamming game wasn't for no thorough, real dude. Like, look at the dudes, look at the caliber of people that was in the scamming game. Gay niggas, females. That was who was in the scamming game. You know what I'm saying? That's who I remember being scammers, my nigga. So I don't look at none of them Rells Fargo niggas. I look at them as cruddy niggas that got a bag, that got lucky, and they bit their hand that fed them. You know, slow, ain't no real street nigga. I hear he involved in that. He not a real street nigga. Because when a nigga take your chain and strip you like fucking 50 in them dead, you know what I mean? Shout out to 50. But when BX Hove and Mikey Fingers in them and Monster in them put that work in on that nigga and 50 did what he did, you know, that nigga ain't did nothing, you know, but went and sat with his lawyer and did some telling. You know, Winslow was the bag carrier for banks and getting the cleaners. He was running around. You know, that was what he was doing. He was the intern or whatever the apprentice, whatever you want to call that nigga. You know, he wasn't no thorough nigga. And then he didn't have no Queens niggas. Queens niggas wasn't backing him up. So he ran and got the fucking the assistant. He went and got fucking them Haitian mob niggas, them niggas from Flatbush to hold him down. And they was some dirty, like I told y'all, dirty Crip niggas, man. Dirty Crip niggas. You know, because like I said, bro, Crip niggas in Brooklyn, there's only a few Crip niggas in Brooklyn that get money. You know? The rest of them niggas was not getting no bag, bro. They was not getting no bag, bro. You know? And a lot of people look at that situation and they think these dudes is who they say they is, and they ain't who they say they is, man. You know, and I looked at that whole situation and I said, damn, you know, this shit is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga killed this man's and nigga ratting. Nigga ratting. You know, niggas is ratting. But I'm not surprised by this because these niggas want to be gangsters, but when they come to doing that gangster time, they don't want to sit down, man. They ready to start singing like motherfucking Patty or motherfucking Tina. And that's what these dudes do, you know? So the Rells Fargo nigga, they already, what's the number saying? The boy singing like a like Aretha. So I'm not surprised. Not surprised by that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it real. Like, what did them niggas like? All them niggas dress like rappers, but they don't got no fucking musical talent. You know, the streets is dead. So what was y'all niggas really holding out for this fake street illusion? You know what I'm saying? And y'all niggas on these fucking pictures and niggas is bringing niggas the bag and they going out to LA and New York and private jets and shit. We been knew that private jet shit was Fugaga, man. It's Fugaga. We been knew it. We knew these record labels ain't giving y'all niggas no money like that. So we know that it was coming some other way. And them crackers wasn't gonna let y'all niggas run around living the way y'all living. And old boy was living in fucking Jersey. You think they ain't know a nigga living in Jersey with a $1.3 million mansion? They could tell that nigga ain't no rich nigga. They could tell he ain't no athlete. So what they did was they do what most niggas do. They showed their ass and they came and got him. You know. And that's why I tell people, man, I don't feel sorry for none of these dudes, man. No, sir. I don't feel sorry for none of these dudes, man. You know, these dudes is delusional, man. That this fake gangster shit, man. All this shit is fugazi, man. These niggas is cornballs, man. You know, these niggas is cornballs, man. These niggas is cornballs. But yeah, smash that like button, man. If y'all coming into the live, man, 19, nigga, we need more than 19. It's 21 people in here. Get these likes up. But yeah, man, these niggas is clowns, man. You know? China ain't no snitch, my nigga. What are you talking about? China from Connecticut was a real one. You understand what I'm saying? A real solid dude. He lost his life, you know what I'm saying? And what happened to him was very tragic, you know? And what people fail to realize is that China had a lot going for him. The only thing I'm kind of upset with is that me and China didn't get to do his story. And I think if we'd have got to do China, if I'd have got to do China's story, oh, it would have been legendary because I know how I was coming with it. You know what I'm saying? I knew how I was coming with it. I know how it was going to really touch people and people was going to see who China was and they didn't get to see who China was because he went to jail. So it's kind of fucked up that happened, But like I said, man, these Crip niggas, man, I'm not surprised by them niggas, man. I'm not surprised by them niggas. Listen, man, y'all gotta really look at these Crip dudes, man. Really look at them, right? And like I tell y'all, I don't have a beef with Crips, right? Because I got homies that's Crips, right? But I stand correct with these dudes. They nothing but snakes, and they nothing but cruddy niggas, and a lot of them be telling. Wink Loke, look at Wink Loke. Wink Loke is a known informant. That ain't even on the low, nigga. I don't know why niggas ain't exposed them yet. Krill Gates, when he was on my channel, he exposed Wink Loke. You know what I'm saying? Niggas really think Wink Loke is a solid nigga. That nigga, they said told on the niggas that shot him. You know, um, y'all niggas love what's the nigga? What's the nigga? The nigga, Psych Bites. Niggas love that nigga. That nigga told when the Mac Ballers put in work on him and chopped him up. He made sure he told. Yeah, Wink Loke told, man. Wink Loke told, man. I interviewed Krill Gates. He been exposed that on my platform. Quite a few people hit me up and said Wink Loke is a snitch. They said that to me behind the scenes. They like, yo, Wink Loke is a snitch. And Krill Gates said it on my interview with him. But other individuals said, yo, that nigga's a snitch. Nigga Wink Locust he's a teller. He did bad. That's what niggas said on my that came in my comment section. And they said it. They say, yo, why niggas ain't exposing Wink Loke? You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's a questionable nigga. Uh Psych Bike. Y'all know what happened with him. He told on the niggas in upstate that chopped him. You know what I'm saying? And the Mac Baller niggas went at him, something filthy, and he wrote a whole statement. Once you write a statement, you got to tell on the niggas that cut you too. You can't just because you got a lawsuit. You got to tell who cut you, and you got to tell what happened. And a nigga that say he's a gangster and you suing, nigga, I can't respect a nigga like that. He's no different than a Larry Davis. This is what I'm saying. These niggas be picking and choosing, you know? P Gutter's another one with snitching allegations. P Gutter went to jail for beating a nigga. These niggas is P Gutter drops. These niggas is his little homies. Yeah, Larry Davis was police. Larry Davis was a fucking rat. Let's keep it real. My cousin and me, Mr. Warbucks, had a conversation about Larry Davis. He like, yo, that nigga's a rat, man. The motherfucking rat. He was getting money with the police. He was happy getting money with the police. But soon as them niggas came to collect, cause he ran off with their money, then he started snitching. You know, he started snitching. You know, he started snitching. But Larry Davis was not no good nigga. He wasn't caring about no black nothing. He was out there killing and shooting. He was a janitor for the sweeper crew. You know what I'm saying? He was out there killing and shooting. Real talk. Yeah, he tried to run off with the bag. He tried to run off with the bag, and I got attacked on Instagram by a bunch of niggas. Oh, yo, you violating Larry? Larry's a real nigga. You violating Larry, yo? Larry's a solid dude. How you how you violating Larry? I'm like, nigga, I ain't violating Larry, nigga. He ratted. He had 300,000 in his crib. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my cousin was saying, man. They came there because he was running off with that money, And then the first thing he do, he ratted. You know, he was dropping nothing but slips up north. He was telling on a lot of people, and this is why like his family members came at me yesterday. Yeah, they came on the page talking about, yo, you violating and fuck you, and I'm gonna do this. You ain't gonna do nothing, man. You know, you ain't gonna do nothing, man. Your family member, died in that prison for protecting a chomo. They don't talk about that. And Sosa, my cousin, he incarcerated right now. He talked about it on my platform. You know what I'm saying? How when he was in the yard, it's just before he came home, that the shit had nothing to do with Larry Davis. Larry Davis got up, you know what I'm saying, and was defending the Jamaican chomo nigga that basically owed Blue money, and he was a chomo. So what Larry did was he picked up the cane and hit the nigga in the head. Yeah, he was a janitor for the sweeper crew. You know what I'm saying? Larry was a janitor for the sweeper crew. Him and his brother, his brother, because my aunt was with the sweeper crew, you know, and you know, his older brothers was down with the sweeper crew, you know, and that's what he was doing. He was out there being a janitor. If people look, that nigga was out here killing and shooting and robbing and selling drugs, and then he come on here, you know, acting like acting like he was this dude and he was this positive dude that was being attacked, and he was a civilian. He wasn't no civilian. He was a dude that was a drop slipper, and he was a dude that died for protecting a fucking chomo in the yard. Like, let's be real. Like people, you need to stop the glorification, man. I'm all for being on some black shit, but I'm also all for, you know, we ain't defending no fucking chomos in no yard, man. Yeah, he was trying to get in the music industry under Underwood, but he was a janitor. He was trying to do the rapping thing. In fact, the group that Dr. Dre was producing, that Boys in the Hood was for, HBO, that was his group. That was his group. The Homeboys, Homeboys organization. Yeah, that was his group. In fact, there's a song on YouTube that he's on rapping on it. You know what I'm saying? So homie was trying to be a rapper, and one thing led to another. He ended up, you know, got what his hand called for. Instead of him, you know, not running off with their packs, he probably would have not lost. He probably would have never been in the problems he was, but he ran off with the packs. He ran off with the money. Nigga Larry was living the good life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he got under because his brother was a sweeper, was a part of the sweeper crew, was a janitor, and he was a janitor. That's how he got under. You know, and he made it seem like he was this street dude, but he was dropping, he was doing a lot of snitching, man. He was doing a lot of snitching, man. And people glorify him because of the hip hop shit, but when you really take a look at him, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. My cousin said it the best, man. That nigga was a piece of shit. And he knew Larry when he was on the street, and he knew him when he was in jail. He was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't no solid dude, man. He did some fuck nigga shit. And that's why I said what I said about in the beginning. It's just like with original 50 Cent, bro. His like the original 50 Cent, look at his story. He did all his people grimy. And then he was working with the police, and look, dudes, they doing a documentary right now on the original 50 Cent. Right now. Shout out to the bro, PL Gaines. He's doing a real documentary on the original 50 Cent. And like he said, this shit is going, he told me, he said, yo, this shit is gonna expose a lot of truth that nobody wanna talk about. You know? This is gonna expose a lot of truth that nobody wanna talk about. That how is, dudes, and this is it goes from a Larry to original 50 Cent to all these dudes. They all fake solid dudes. Original 50, he did bad, man. He did bad, man. And like I said, even with this Rells Fargo situation, bunch of do bad niggas. Bunch of do bad niggas, and a nigga like him, he's definitely a do bad nigga, you know. He best Rells Fargo was a do bad nigga because when I looked at how he you know, had all this money, right? And he snaked his mans. They kidnapped the chick, his man's girl. They fucking did some sucker shit. Nigga was dry, like a whole lot of nasty work, man. Whole lot of nasty work. And I don't feel sorry for these dudes, man. I don't feel sorry for these dudes, man. I don't feel sorry for these dudes. You know, and Slowbuck nigga ain't no real nigga. You know, Slowbucks nigga ain't no real nigga. Slow ain't no real nigga. Winslow is gonna do what the fuck he gonna do to stay on the street. But y'all gotta remember, these same Crip niggas, right? Going to LA after Pop Smoke got killed, right? And these same niggas, right, is chilling with the niggas that was behind the death of Pop Smoke. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. They took his chain and all that. Yeah. Took his chain on stage. Monster and was there and Crippy and BX Hole with Mikey Fingers. They put the beats on slow, and he was running around with them Haitian mob niggas. And like I told y'all, man, these Crips, man, they not known for get money niggas. You know, the Crips was out here killing civilians for their iPods and shit in Brooklyn. Let's talk about it. That's what the Brooklyn Crips was doing. They was out here killing niggas for their iPods, doing bum nigga shit. The scamming shit was the best thing that ever happened for them Crip niggas. Cause they was doing bad out here. They needed that scamming shit. You know? Yeah, yeah, he got locked up over that. Yep. Smash the like button if you pulling up, man. If you new to the channel, smash the like button and like, share, subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that's a crazy thing right there, man. When somebody gets on a platform, man, and revere these niggas, man. When these niggas did bad, man, they did terrible, man. They did terrible, man. That was some cruddy shit. When I heard the story about the nigga, I say, yo, that's the most cruddy shit I ever heard. Nigga, nigga slimed his means and took off and living happily ever after. Calm as a motherfucker, man. But that's what them Crip niggas do, man. They got that, and I ain't disrespecting no Crips. But when niggas say crab, crab ass niggas, they got a crab ass mentality. Ain't no disrespect to the Crips. I'm gonna say that one more time. Ain't no disrespect. But niggas got crab ass mentalities, man. Because if you could slime your mans, your childhood friend, and what I'm hearing is he's the one that put the nigga to the bag or whatever, however the shit went, and you knock your mans off or had the man knocked off, like that was some slimy, grimy shit. But like I tell y'all, them Crip niggas always been slimy and grimy, man. They always been slimy. That's why when they get in prison, they tuck their tail. They turn Muslim, you know, they join the Bloods, or they be neutral, or they get down with the rosters because they got so much beef and they done did some foul shit to people, family members, that they tucking they fucking they head. They tucking they head. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna stand on that shit. They not like the California niggas standing on they shit when they go into the penitentiary. I respect California Crips because them niggas gonna carry you. But I can't respect a New York Crip. I can't because them niggas fold every time. People just telling me Chef G, like niggas talk about Chef G's a real nigga. Chef G was crying like a bitch and was calling some of my niggas up trying to turn blood. You feel me? Trying to turn blood, my nigga. Pop Smoke been left them niggas. That's why he cut them niggas off. He been left that Crip shit. You know what I'm saying? People ain't even know Pop turned over and turned blood, my nigga. This is facts. That's why them Crip niggas ain't ride for Pop Smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's why them Crip niggas ain't supported Pop Smoke because he turned motherfucker. He went and turned blood, man. On the low, you know? And that's why I said, man, them Crip niggas, man, they just shows you how slimy they is, man. They show you how slimy. Oh man, the blood niggas is grimy. They always say that about the blood niggas. Oh, the blood niggas is grimy. But who the fuck kill their own man? Crip niggas. Crip nigga killed his own man, slimed his own mans out for that bag. For that bag. Straight up for that bag, man. Slime they nigga out for the bag, man. And that's why I said, man, these niggas bite the hands that feed them. These niggas ain't never had money. So these niggas slime they people when they ain't never had a bag, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get the nigga a bag. Like they said, the nigga ain't never had a bag. The nigga came up big with the scam and shit. Came up big. And then look, by him coming up big, they fucking did they did the means his means filthy for that bag. For that Lucci. You know, but it did surprise me, man, because like I said, man, that's what they do. That's just like with the Jeezy and Chinaman shit. You know, he was mad at Chinaman because Chinaman said, "Yo, you was a bum ass nigga, bro. You was living with your moms in the motherfucking crib, renting these cars, and you got these people believing that you the boss when I'm the boss." You know what I'm saying? It's one thing when a nigga, made you, and it's another thing when a nigga ain't made you. It hit a little different. When a nigga put money in your pocket and a nigga put you to the money, and then you get on platforms or you want to hurt a nigga that put you to the bag, that know your ins and outs, you can't shit on the niggas that made you. And that nigga shitted on the nigga that made him. Him doing that, you know what I'm saying? It made him look like a whole hoe. So he had to prove himself. And he wasn't a whole hoe. That he had to prove himself that he was a real nigga, you know? And the fucked up part about it is that his gang that shoot can't shoot straight, hit an innocent female in the wet, you know, and they ain't even get their target. And then not only that, come to find out, everybody on that fucking that thing is telling on that nigga because they took plea deals. So his manager, Jalissa, the Packavelli nigga that got they found out had a boyfriend. He a fucking shooter, but he like niggas. It's crazy. The Miss Chin chick, the Dolly chick, they all was a part of the nigga demise and they all ratting on a nigga, right? And the goofy nigga, wanted to be a gangster, nigga. How you want to be a gangster on your balls? You didn't even get gangster when niggas clipped your mans, S Dot and Capo, and put the nigga brains in a fucking cup holster. That's when you should have routed out. He ain't routed out then. He went and wrote it out when, the shit hit the fan, bro. I don't get these niggas, man. You know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got this shit. We got this shit monetized, man. Make sure y'all smash the like button, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. The chick got killed. The chick got killed in that incident. Yeah. You know, but people told me on the street, people was upset that China was on my platform. I brought China man. See, a lot of niggas was mad with China from Connecticut because he was on my platform. And niggas was mad at China man for being on my platform. And what people don't understand is I give niggas a platform. Any and everybody can get a platform on the Bulletz Gotti show. Rap legends, street legends, activists, whoever gets a comp could get a moment on my platform. I don't discriminate. And that's the thing that people don't understand. I don't discriminate. That's why I got Cloth Talk right now with OG Gotti right now. I got, this right here, Hell in the Cell. I got Rapmatic with me and my brother Q. I got many other platforms that I'm doing that y'all gonna see like, oh, this nigga right here is different, And then I got the merch coming, the Bullets Gotti clothing, which is coming real soon. We about to kill the streets with the merch. The t-shirts. When I show y'all the t-shirts, I don't know if I want to reveal the shirts, but oh my god, the shirts is oh my god, it's so fire. They so fire, yo. Like no nigga got what I get with the merch. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas thought I was out. It's like, yo, they demonetized Gotti. Yo, he's out. They fucked him over. Nah, we back moving. We got the Hell in the Cell podcast. We back moving. Look what we doing. And let me say this, right? Shout out to Snow, cause you know, the phone restrictions is crazy in the feds. So I didn't really think we was gonna get Snow to really speak on the situation in jail, because niggas lied, right? Fuquan, let's keep it real about Fuquan, right? And shout out to Puerto Rican Mikey. That's the homie, right? And shout out the real ones from LG, right? Fruit Sickle gets on his platform and diminish niggas. You know what I'm saying? He diminish niggas. Niggas don't like Snow. I get it. Niggas don't like Snow, right? But Snow ain't never capping what he said. Niggas know Cartier. Cartier ain't capping, right? So Maino, Maino Chano, you know, we gotta really look. The lies that Maino has been saying for the longest, it's ridiculous. That man wasn't no friend of fucking he wasn't no friend of World. So why would you say on Vlad that that nigga was a friend of World? World and Maino was never no friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? I never seen, I'm gonna keep it real. The first time I seen Maino, and this is on everything I love, the first time I ever seen Maino was watching Bobby Simmons in 2004, and they premiered the Rumors video. That was the first time I ever seen that nigga, right? Now, my family members know Maino, Dog, whose relationship to my family, who on my father's side has a relations to my family. Um, Casino Mike, who's my cousin uncle, his brother is my cousin father, right? Um, Dre, who was my cousin, Rocky, R.I.P. Crusher Stone, who robbed Queen Latifah back in '95 for the BM and shot the bodyguard and all that. That's my family. So that NA Rock shit is real dick. I've been on Quincy, and all through Quincy, my pops is from Quincy. You know what I'm saying? Bad side boxing used to be in there all the time. You know what I'm saying? My pops is on the wall in there, right? So I know all them legends from Bad Side. I used to see them niggas. My pops knew them niggas. My uncle knew them niggas. You know what I'm saying? My cousins knew them. My bigger cousins knew them niggas. You know what I'm saying? The Turf Diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Shaka. When you hear me tell Snow about Shaka, Shaka had a bakery. When Shaka was on um America's Most Wanted, I would go with my pops to the bakery, right? And I would see Shaka. I would see Shaka. His brother was locked up, but I would see Shaka. He would be around. He'd be around over there. He'd be on Quincy. You'll see him on Quincy regularly while he was on the in the hood, right? So I seen that. My cousin, she used to date Red Cafe, so I seen Red Cafe. My cousin Momo, she used to date Red Cafe. So I know who them niggas. I know all them niggas. All them niggas as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Madison the Troop. I know Mel Murder Pops, Scarvy. I know his mom and all. I know all them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So when I tell people I don't be lying, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them niggas ain't see me in years. They see me as a shorty. But I used to see them niggas as a kid being over there in the style. So I never seen a Mano. I seen Mouse. I seen his brother Mouse. Mouse was always in a rock, Gates and No Street. I would see Mouse. You know what I'm saying? I used to see Lance Means Wayno, when I was a kid, I used to see him out there. You know what I'm saying? You would see these niggas. You see 380, you see Rad, you see all them dudes. But I see these niggas as a shorty. You know what I'm saying? So Snow don't be capping when he asked me, what live you from? Because my cousin lived in Louis Armstrong. You understand what I'm saying? My cousin lived in Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong is not a project. Louis Armstrong is a building. It's a nature owned building, but it's not a project. You understand what I'm saying? So I never, I seen Grady, the rapper Grady. I seen that nigga. I remember when he shot his video out there. I seen that nigga. And I know Maino was hating on that nigga. Maino was hating on Grady because Grady had hella motion in the industry for writing for Puff. You understand what I'm saying? Because Grady wrote for Puff, for writing for a lot of people, you know, for being signed to Chris Lighty. Grady was getting to it. I mean, but it's not like a LG though. Louis Armstrong not like a Roosevelt, you know, like it's not like a Roosevelt. It's not like a Tompkins or a Brevoort. He good. My pops is good. It's not like none of that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I never seen a Maino. You know what I'm saying? I never seen a Maino. I've never seen a Maino. He ain't from the style, but he had a lot of niggas from the style that co-signed him. He had a lot of niggas from the style that co-signed him. I never say Grady, Grady had a dope thing, man. Grady had like a dope presence in the game, and like Troy Ave, they hated on him. Let's keep it real. Same reason how niggas hated on Troy Ave, they hated on Grady. Because Grady had motion in the rap industry. You know what I'm saying? He had 50 Cent co-signing him. He had Jada Kiss. He had Puff. He had everybody co-signing him in the industry. Busta Rhymes, you name it, niggas was co-signing Grady. But once he got shot in the ass, and once, the situation happened with him, like niggas just stopped fucking with Grady. But that was some hate and jealousy, insecure shit. You know what I'm saying? And niggas try to do that sucker shit with Red Cafe. You know, you know, So that's the shit I be trying to tell people, man. So like Maino, I don't have an issue with Maino. You know, like when niggas say, "Oh, you got a beef with Maino," like I said, I never had an issue. They gave me the interview with Boxing Ball. I turned that interview down. That for the clout chaser took that interview, right? When I turned the interview down. But they gave me that interview. They're like, yo, I said, nah, I can't do it cause cause my cousin and him is like this on my pop side. So I can't do that and do an interview. But when the nigga came in my room and flexed on me because I had Snow Billy in my room and he did a room about the lobby boys, you can't get mad at a nigga because a nigga did a room on a nigga. That's some insecure bitch nigga shit. I don't respect that. And that's why like when niggas say like, oh Mano, like I'm not worried about Mano doing nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that nigga. This nigga old and bitter, bro. You know what I'm saying? That nigga ain't put on no nigga in Brooklyn. Let's keep it real. He didn't put on no niggas in Brooklyn. He didn't do what Biggie did. Biggie put on majority of most niggas that's in the industry in Brooklyn. Biggie put on. Periodly. Most of Maino crew is Biggie crew, including his brother, including um 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 Casino Mike. Every last one of them niggas was in Biggie crew. You understand what I'm saying? That nigga ain't put on no nigga. You could say, oh, he put on a nigga that you see right now popping in the industry. He isn't put on no young niggas. No young niggas. 80 put on, I can't talk about 80 because 80 got a record label. 80 is 80. His record label is not Maino record label. You understand what I'm saying? So salute to 80. 80 got shot by the police. He got his lawsuit money. He was able to, do what he did for DOD, for Lola Brooke. That's dope. 80 a good dude, solid brother. But who has Jermaine Coleman put on? Who has he put on? Who has he put on in the game? You know? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen, you can't tell me no nigga he put on in the game. Ain't no ain't put on no nigga in the game. You know what I'm saying? He run around talking about, yeah, ghost of Dementia. He ain't even know the nigga. How you gonna say you the ghost or something and then you come on, bro? It's like you got to listen to these niggas, man, and really like he even try to shit on he shit on a lot of niggas, man. But when you got niggas like Fu Quan, putting out that bullshit, oh that nigga had that nigga was beefing with Black old Maco and that shit. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is why niggas in the style is going at Maino. This is why live why you're going at Maino. This is why a lot of these niggas is they tired of this nigga, man. Niggas in Brooklyn is tired of Jermaine Coleman, bro. They tired of that nigga, man. They tired of that dude, man. Ain't nobody want to hear that, the Maino day and all that. Like, how the fuck he get a day before Biggie get a day? And Biggie walked them streets. How the fuck that nigga get a day before Biggie Smalls, my nigga? We gotta really think, we gotta really listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know the real story because a few individuals, I'm not gonna say their name, but when the interview do come out, we gonna do the interview real soon. You know, how World stepped to him about talking to Little Kim. This is just after uh what's his name passed? T Rock. Just after he passed, just around the time he passed. And you heard his baby mother talked about it, but World stepped in. And that nigga got out the way and got out of motherfucking he got out of Brooklyn or wherever the fuck he went. So how can a nigga be your homie or your childhood friend when a nigga stepped to a nigga about his woman? Come on, bro. Y'all niggas, this is why I say these niggas be living in imaginary worlds, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I said, man, that nigga is a snake nigga. This is why I say rats and snakes, because he's a snake nigga. Because 50 put him on. If 50 Cent, through the relationships of him with Monster and 80, signed this nigga, he told them niggas, yo, if y'all don't sign Mano, I'ma go sign him. And he opened the door. Once Little Kim stopped fucking with Jermaine Coleman, Mano, it was over for Mano. Let's keep it real. Once Little Kim stopped fucking with that nigga, and that nigga was out there fucking with Foxy Brown, let's really talk about it. Yeah, when that nigga was out there fucking with Foxy Brown, when Lil Kim did that 1 year, and she cut that nigga off, Universal dropped that nigga. Let's talk about it, right? Universal dropped that nigga. So when 50 Cent made that call to Craig Cowman and told him, yo, son, if y'all don't sign him, I'll go sign him. That opened the door for that nigga to get signed. And boom, they came. That nigga, and that nigga said out his own mouth, nigga. 50 opened that door for him because they wasn't even going to sign the nigga. So how you gonna say, oh, that nigga ain't a real nigga, he ain't tough and all this? Like, come on, bro. Like, how you gonna say that nigga and you got multiple videos saying that nigga 50's a real nigga? This nigga got a video with him dissing Rick Ross. Nigga that he D riding Rick Ross now. He dick riding him, right? But he got a whole video with him dissing Rick Ross. Saying Rick Ross ain't official and I fuck with 50. 50 open the door for me. Make it make sense with these dudes. Make it make sense with Pappy, bro. With Pat Poose, man. Pat Poose. Ask yourself, why Pat Poose? Nah, I ain't gonna even do it. I ain't gonna even do it. I ain't gonna even do it. I'm gonna just say this, man. Pat Poose going out bad, man. Cause K Slay, if he was alive, that him dissing 50 would have never been happening. But what I will say is this, man. Pat Poose, man. I ain't gonna say nothing, man. I ain't gonna say nothing. Man. But what I will say is this, man. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this though. Pat Poose bit your hand that set him. You know. Hey yo, you know what's so sad about that Pat Poose shit? And I look at that nigga. I look at that nigga in disgust because if you felt that way about a nigga, and this is what I don't understand with these industry niggas. If niggas feel this way about niggas, right? How do y'all live with yourselves as men? Hmm? How do y'all live with yourselves with men? Like I ain't gonna lie, man. How these niggas live with themselves as men? You know that they could go on platforms and talk about a nigga that they broke bread with. A lot of niggas don't like 50. I get it. A lot of niggas don't like 50. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I tell niggas even with the 50 and Diddy beef, right? Like them issues with 50 and Diddy, it's not about no baby mama, right? Them issues come from Jay-Z, Puff giving money to Preem. You understand what I'm saying? Because Puff had a relationship. Well, Puff had more of a relationship with Preem because his uncle George, who was down with Tommy Montana, and he had real strong ties in Queens, right? So I understood why 50 felt the way he felt. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm signed, I'm looking for a deal and you can't sign me because you don't want to take a nigga beef for him because you got a relationship with a nigga. That's just like his issues with Clue. Like he don't, he got an issue with Clue because like Gully TV bitch ass gonna ask Clue about his problem with 50. Why would you ask that nigga? That nigga didn't want to even talk about that. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, me and son, we don't got a real relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? We do business and that's it. But we don't got really a good, relationship. I know what Clue was saying. Clue was saying, you know, why we don't got a relationship is because, you know, my bros told me the wolves, who we know who the wolves is, that told him what it was. And that's why 50 never signed with him because his wolves had a relationship with Preem. So I understand why 50 was the way he was. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas got a relationship over there and y'all playing them type of games, and I'm just do me. That's why 50 career went the way it did, and a lot of niggas don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get mad that he went and signed with Eminem and sold the amount of records that he sold. You know what I'm saying? Because let's keep it real, man. Niggas want to say Jay-Z is this level, but let's keep it real, man. You know, Jay-Z really fucked the rap game up, man. You know? Yeah, he told him to sign, yeah. Yeah, Preem told him to sign on the Devil Storm. But But that was but Mr. Warbucks, that was Webb and Nitty. Webb and Nitty was who 50 was talking about. That Preem gave the okay to them, really to Webb. No, it was Nitty. He gave the okay to Nitty, and Nitty told Clue, and they was going, they and but he didn't like the fact that he went to Preem. He went to Preem. And if he didn't go to Preem, and they didn't go to Preem, he probably would have went with Clue. Because he shot the deal with Clue. But they went to Preem, and 50 didn't like that. 50 didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think everything, went where it was supposed to go. It went where it was supposed to go. He went to, out to California. Like, I look at it like this, man. Like, a lot of niggas need to look at it just like with fucking um the shit with 50 and Jimmy Henchman, man. Yeah, but 50 gonna say what he going from his from his peripheral. 50 gonna say what he gonna say. You know how 50 do. You know how 50 gonna say how he gonna talk about it. But let's look at it like this. Look at the shit with Jimmy Henchman, right? 50 and Jimmy Henchman be all started from the headstone. Because people don't talk about the headstone. That's where it really began. From getting the original 50 Cent to headstone. And then when he did the documentary, he did it off the loves. Yeah, he was with Trackmasters. He was with Steve Stout, Trackmasters, and all of them. He was with all of them. He was with Corey Rooney and all of them. And that's how his career. But let's be honest, Mr. Warbucks. That Jimmy beef, right? 50 and Jimmy went back and forth about the headstone, and 50 dubbed him on the headstone, right? So after he did that, they do the documentary on the original 50 Cent. 50 is in the original 50 Cent documentary, but niggas was in there taking crazy shit on him. They was shitting on 50 in the whole documentary. You had One Arm Monk talking about, yo, and shout out to One Arm Monk. It's mad love for One Arm Monk. But One Arm Monk was like, yo, niggas would have extorted him and all that. And then you had Chaz, which RIP to Chaz, RIP to Slim, where he was talking about the situation. So 50 did it off the strength on some, yo, I'm showing love back. But he ain't know that niggas was gonna be in there throwing shots at him. Niggas threw shells at him in the documentary. So that's how the beef started there. And then after the documentary, they do the situation with the game. Now 50 already got the issues with Jimmy. Jimmy and Chris Lighty got issues. They got beef, and with them having beef, yeah, that was unnecessary. That's what caused the tension with him and Jimmy Henchman. People always think it was the game shit. I tell people it started with the 50 Cent documentary. Once they did that documentary and Chaz was in there and he said what he said and One Arm Mo said what he said, they was going crazy. And then him having the issues with Chris Lighty, because Chris Lighty had all the talent in New York City. Let's just be honest. Anybody that was in the industry was signed to Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty had every talent you name it. Ja Rule. Everybody was under Violator management. You know, that all happened around the same time, 2003, 2004, 2005. So Chris Lighty and him beefing, right? And then the game comes. Now, everybody don't know this. The game wasn't, and this is facts. The game was, and Jimmy Henchman was co-managing with D-Mac. Game, then when he Jimmy Henchman took it full time. But D Mac and Jimmy Henchman was co-managing the game, right? D Mac, yeah, he had Akon too. D Mac and and Jimmy, or really D Mac, was trying to get the game to go to Bad Boy, right? And then when Dre saw that they was trying to get him to go to Bad Boy, he got him under 50. And then when he got him under 50, that's how you get the documentary, you know, which was kind of fucked up was, and I had this conversation the other day, is that if Game didn't come from that California culture and he didn't have Jimmy Hinchman in his ear, a lot of money could have been made with that G Unit shit, with them as a group. That shit could have been that was a well-oiled machine, you know? And yeah, he had him for 2 years on the shelf. Game didn't get off the shelf until what was it, 2004, like 2004 going to 2005. But he was on the shelf from like 2002 to 2003. He was signed to Aftermath around the same time, a little bit before 50. So he was around, he was there when Kim was over there. But push past the bumper clock, 50, you know, it was gonna burn out, but they had great momentum. And the thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All Jimmy Hinchman should have did was step down as manager and let Chris Lighty take him as a client, and Game would have been good. You know what I'm saying? But Jimmy was trying to hold on to the golden goose egg, and that's what caused all that dissension, all that niggas getting killed. His brother being, this is how 50 fell out with Interscope because Jimmy brother Mario was the big man over there in the scope, so it caused a lot of dissension. And yeah, Bishop Lamar, yeah, facts. And like that's what caused a lot of dissension. And like Jimmy, people say, "Oh, yo, 50 tricked him," but no, 50 didn't trick him. Jimmy thought like, "Yo, this gonna be easy," but 50 had some wild niggas around him, and it caused a lot of shit that caused to get a lot of niggas hurt. You know, it caused a lot of niggas to get a lot of niggas hurt, and it didn't need to be like that. Let me say this, right? I was listening to Lil Sean podcast, Smoke Signal. I'm not gonna lie, he put a lot of missing pieces to the puzzle. I been knew this, but he confirmed what I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking. And like he exposed a lot of shit with like Jay Brown and Emery and Jimmy and shit with I been knew about the Jay-Z. See, Jimmy with the Jay-Z shit, Jimmy was doing that. What he did with Game and 50, he did with Jay-Z and J.O. Felony. They had J.O. Felony and Marcy. Yeah, Lil Sean got a podcast, Smoke Signal. Yeah, it just came out. It's new. It's a dope. He exposed a lot of shit in the podcast. Actually, he exposed the situation with Snoop, with Snoop, with the trailer getting shot up. And he gave the hint that old boy was the one that you know, put that word out there. You know, so it's on. Let me tell you, it's on thing right now. It's on Apple Podcast, Smoke Signals, and he exposing, you know, um, a lot of shit, a lot of shit, a lot of shit, man. Shit that you wouldn't even think. Like it's some fucked up shit in the story, man. That I'll be like, yo, when I heard it and I said, oh damn, this nigga got some facts in here, man. Like when I heard the shit when he had when he said them niggas shot up the trailer with Snoop and who he said, peace, 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 Storm. When he said old boy shot up the trailer, I was like, nah, nah. When he said it was Jimmy, he basically was low key saying like Jimmy was responsible for that trailer getting hit up. Shout out to my brother in the building, Battle Zone. I see you, bro. Like he said that literally that's what happened. And that's what really caused the East Coast, West Coast beef with the trailer getting shot up with Snoop and like for a long time, niggas ain't really knew what happened. And a lot of niggas see the East and West shit wasn't even cracking off. It was little bit of this, little bit of shots being thrown, but it didn't get thrown until Son got that shit shot up, my nigga. You know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't like Sean, man. They don't like little Sean, man. They don't like that dude, but he exposed a lot of shit, man. Like even the George Chang situation. He exposed that. He put a little hints. Like I'm not gonna lie, that podcast is making Jimmy look real, real, real grimy, man. That podcast making Jimmy look real grimy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If y'all go listen to Smoke Signal, it's making Jimmy Henchman look like a grimy shiesty. Like I knew about the shit with R. Kelly, at Madison Square Garden with the niggas out there in the arena with their guns. You know what I'm saying? And they was showing the guns to R. Kelly. I know about that. You know what I'm saying? I know about the other situations. You know what I'm saying? The J.O. felony. But I ain't know in the podcast, like, nah, man, you gotta listen to that podcast, bro. Cause he put some clues in there, man. It's not only his homies. He put some clues out there about Jimmy, bro, and in that case, man. Yeah, man, you gotta listen to that podcast, bro. He put some clues in there, like, yo, I listen to that podcast. I'm like, damn, son, he's saying what? He's saying all these niggas, yo, he went in, you know? Nah, R. Kelly wasn't lying. It was guns in the building. They was pointing guns at R. Kelly. That's a fact. He was never lying. Yeah, 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 yeah. He was a muscle. He was the muscle for Son. You know. So it's a nasty thing, man. It's a nasty situation. But Jimmy did it to himself, man. And I don't got an issue with the nigga Jimmy Henchman. A lot of his people, they fuck with me. But I keep it real, bro. Like he just got some treachery things with him, man. You know, and like a lot of people ain't really like certain shit he was doing, man. Like especially with the Pac shit and a lot of this shit that he was doing, man. Like that dude was like he was responsible. Like I heard some stories, man. Heard some stories, man, when he was like playing both sides, you know. So I really, I don't got no hate for the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I've always heard that he was the one. It was two names that I always heard with the Pac shit that lined it up. They said Jimmy and they say Jack. Man. Those like the two names. You know, there's always been them two names. You know, and then they say the '90s General was the one that did it, and it's some from Georgia Avenue that was Tuck right hand man. Oh, we know who it is, Nubs man. That was involved. As they said, the '90s Jungle and Nubs, bro. Yeah, they was beefing over Salt. They was. Salt was and Pac was dealing with each other. That's a fact. They was beefing over Salt. And that's really what the issue was. You know what I'm saying? They was beefing over her. That's what really was the issue was. And he didn't like what he told him on the phone, you know. And really and truly, man, like, you know, like if it wasn't for Preem and certain dudes, man, cause if you really look at it, Preem and Big D, man, they was the ones that told Pac, man, yo, don't diss the whole East Coast. Big D and Preem told him that, man. Don't diss the whole East Coast, man. Cause Pac was gonna go crazy, man. You know, you know. Yeah, he did, but he didn't think them dudes was gonna do him like that, because he's minding his business, man. He was ultra loyal to them niggas, man, and them niggas wasn't loyal to him, man. Yeah, merch is definitely coming soon, man. Merch is definitely. I'm gonna promote the merch. I'm definitely. I'm about to put the merch on the Instagram so everybody can see the merch, so y'all can get ready for it. So like even when they put Puff involved in that, Puff had nothing to do with that shit, right? Because Pac Puff and Pac was cool before Biggie and Pac was cool. You know what I'm saying? Pac used to be chilling with Buck and them niggas. The butt naked crew. He used to be around them niggas. Chilling with Gangsta Lou and all them niggas. So they was crew. Puff. What happened was the shit with Puff was they involved Puff in it, the magazines, the industry. You know what I'm saying? That's why when Pac said on Against All Odds, promised to pay back Jimmy Hinchman in due time, I knew you bitch niggas was listening. The world is mine. Pac was the one that told Biggie, yo, fuck with Puff. Stay with Puff. Puff your man. Stay with that nigga. That nigga gonna get you to that money. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he felt some type of way. Them niggas, them magazine niggas, Vibe magazine, the Touré niggas. Let's get it clear. Niggas like Touré that's going at Mary J. Blige right now is the niggas that hype that shit up. I can't so much say the source, but I'ma say Vibe magazine started that shit, and then the trailer getting shot up in fucking New York is what fueled that. The first diss track that ever was made was 187 NYC 187, which was basically cause of that motherfucking shit getting shot up. Let's keep it real. So Kevin Powell doing the podcast, doing the magazine interview and fucking, you know, you know, Snow Billy, you gonna hear Snow Billy in a minute, man. Snow Billy you gonna hear Snow Billy real soon, man. Me and Snow gonna do something crazy, but the merch coming soon. But Vibe magazine started that beef, man. They started that beef because that's how they do, man. These magazines, you know, push that knife. Y'all niggas is funny, But yeah, man, these niggas be fake. They be fake lying, man. I mean, the shit with Stretch, he just showed that the nigga. I read the magazine when he talked about the Stretch shit. What what really he said was he felt the problem when the nigga went down on the ground. That's what made him look at that nigga crazy when he went down on the ground like a sack of potatoes. Pac said in the magazine, they put the gun in his stomach. That's how he got hit. You know what I'm saying? If the gun never was on his stomach and he ain't want him to shoot him. So that's what made him turn and do what he did. You understand what I'm saying? But if people really read that article, he went down on the ground like a sack of potatoes. He did. He went down on the ground like a sack of potatoes. That's what he said in the interview. He said Stretch went down like a sack of potatoes, and he said, "Yo, the nigga was like 6'6", and he didn't understand why a nigga 6'6" is going down like a sack of potatoes." But I understand Stretch point of view why he went down because if you got a gun on, and nigga got guns on you, it's over, you know. But Pac didn't want to get shot. He had his, he had his back to niggas, but he didn't want to get shot. That's what happened, you know. But like Jimmy Henchman, what fucked up happened with Jimmy Henchman is this, right? He hated on Chris Lighty, right? He was extorting the whole music industry. Let's just keep it real. That bulletproof love shit he was pushing, he was extorting all of them. You know, he was in Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons was getting extorted. Let's keep Russell Simmons was getting extorted since Bill Underwood days. You understand what I'm saying? Andre Harrell, same thing. Bill Underwood, Gene Griffin, these niggas was extorting these niggas, right? Shout out to the channel. Um, these niggas was extorting these niggas, right? And they knew these niggas was bitches, right? That's why, like, when Suge came in the game, when Puff came in the game, when a Chris Lighty come in the game, or a DNY come in the game, these niggas is bringing the same energy these extortionist niggas is bringing. You know what I'm saying? So the extortion shit is not gonna work with these niggas. You know, but niggas like Russell and Andre, these niggas was prone to getting extorted. Even Fly Tie, he had to run the Queens to get protection because Fly Tie was getting smacked silly. Fly Tie was getting smacked silly. The only one I could say that didn't get extorted was Kadar Massenberg. And why? Because he was connected with Dr. York, and Dr. York had real niggas around him. And y'all wasn't niggas really wasn't going to do nothing to no Kadar Massenberg. But the niggas like Steve Stout, they was smacking them up, robbing these niggas, extorting Stout, beating Stout up. You know what I'm saying? They was extorting fucking and let's keep it real. I like Lance Unrivera, but the reason why he couldn't pay fucking major figures and Charlie Baltimore and Cameron because Haitian Jack was up there, coming to get that bag, nigga, and was extorting that nigga. Let's just keep it real. So he couldn't pay them artists over there at Unentertainment because he was getting extorted. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, man, these dudes, man, you know, they say what they want, but the niggas really look at because I hear people talk about, oh, Bad Boy. Bad Boy wasn't getting extorted because Puff had his niggas from the Bronx, Mount Vernon, and Harlem holding them situations. So he had Uncle Paulie, he had Tone down there, he had Wolf, he had fucking Buck and L. So they had an airtight situation, just like with Rough Riders, man. You know, they was on some, yo, we ain't gonna let these niggas run up in the office and do what they do in Def Jam. Yeah, the Valley Mob wasn't letting no Brooklyn niggas do shit to Puff. That it wasn't happening, and that's why like even they tried to do shit with Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty wasn't going for it, bro. Chris Lighty had his goons from the Bronx. Rough Riders had their goons from Mount Vernon and Harlem. So it's like, back then in that music industry, you had to have your crew. because people was the extortion game was heavy. And that shit come from the days of Morris Levy, but people don't talk about it. Morris Levy got pistol whipped. Morris Levy had a gun put in his mouth by Gene Griffin. This is facts. Got pistol whipped by Bill Underwood. These is dudes that in them days, man, you had a Bill Underwood or any of them type of industry dudes, you know, and they feel like you doing some fuck shit, they gonna get gangster with you, and like, you know, when you really look at the industry, because the Brooklyn dudes, they when they started getting into the industry, they put their way of extortion game down because the music industry at one particular point was dominated by a lot of Harlem street cats. You know, they dominated the music industry, and then they brought the Brooklyn dudes came in the late 80s and 90s because they saw, oh, this is preferable. Let's get into the music industry. You know what I'm saying? But niggas like the Underwood and Gene Griffin, they wasn't playing no games, man. They wasn't playing no games. That's why, like, when people talk about Andre Harrell, like, let's keep it real. Andre Harrell was getting hands and feet put on him. Real talk. Hands and feet was getting put on Andre Harrell. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like when Christopher Williams did what he did, because them niggas was playing with the money, and Andre Man, Jimmy Jenkins, he wasn't no street nigga. It was Christopher Williams that was holding them down, and niggas like Wolf that was holding Uptown Records down, that basically was protecting them because they was getting that pressure from the Brooklyn niggas that was putting that pressure. Niggas like what's the nigga from Red Hook? The dumb niggas and a few other niggas that was putting that press game on them. Yeah, yeah. Bernard Thomas was the one that got Bill Underwood locked up, and Bernard Thomas was the one that was trying to set up AZ, and Bernard Thomas was the one that got Dave Hyatt locked up. Because Dave Hyatt, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of Brooklyn dudes got in the industry through David Hyatt. This is fact. Jimmy Hinchman and his man Wayne and them got into the industry, and they other men's, I forgot the other nigga that used to be with them. They got into the industry through David Hyatt, which is Unique Mecca Audio Uncle, David Hall, right? They got into the industry through David Hyatt. David Hyatt brought them in the game. They did the whole Peter Thomas and all of them. They got through there, and that's what put a Jimmy Hinchman and his man Wayne Champagne on, and Peter Thomas, and that's how the Brooklyn dudes got into the music industry, going to Miami, right? Now, a lot of New York niggas had a connection. This is how the Miami, 'cause people don't talk about the Miami New York connection. This is how niggas had ties with niggas like Said Man Pete, P and and all them niggas, right? Cause New York niggas was going to Miami during that How Can I Be Down or earlier, going down south to Jack the Rapper, and they linking up with the Miami niggas and nigga like Bugs and Wolf and them, they was linking with the Miami nigga. Bugs is the nigga that y'all know who Bugs is, that got pistol whipped and pissed on, was drinking pee, and the nigga Dr. Dre wanted the sodomize him, right? But that's the nigga that had the connection with a lot of them dudes in Atlanta and Miami going out there, and they was linking with the niggas like Oomp and all them. That's why I like Oomp. You see Oomp and them doing a lot of shit with them niggas. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pac was there when that happened, and he knew Bugs. That's the crazy part. Pac knew Bugs, but Pac used to chill with Bugs and Buck and L. But Pac was on some shit like, yo, y'all niggas shot son trailer up. Yo, I got shot in New York. So Pac let that shit happen. And really, that situation happened. Really, you gotta say Suge. Because the situation really happened because of son getting killed in Atlanta, Big Jake. So that really was retaliation from Big Jake getting killed in Atlanta. And a lot of people don't understand that that ain't even have nothing to do with motherfucking with puffing them. That was the kid Jason and the nigga I don't know if the nigga dead or alive, the Bonton nigga from the valley, and them niggas started busting, you know? And because Bugs was a part of the valley, and because Bugs was Wolfman's and partner, because what people don't understand is the investors are bad boy owners, and the niggas that was the silent partners, cause I'm gonna get the Rockefeller too. But the niggas that was the owners of Bad Boy was Bugs, um, Wolf, Corey Buck Jacobs, and L. That was the five that was the silent partners and owners of Bad Boy, and Troy Strong from the Valley. Those were the silent partners and owners of Bad Boy Entertainment, right? Because niggas keep talking about Clive Davis. No, they gave the money. They gave the money to Clive Davis, and that's how the label, that's how they got up in here, right? When Bad Boy came in, this is how Rockefeller copied the Bad Boy formula. You hear me? Salute, Sean. Bad Boy copied, no, not Bad Boy. Rockefeller copied the Bad Boy formula. Cause Bad Boy was fucking with OG Wan. OG Wan and them used to be down with Bad Boy. Nah. Keep the homie in there. Nah, don't time him out. Hold on, don't time the homie out. Don't time the homie out. Nah, hell of the cell. Don't time him out. Nah. Keep the homie Mr. Warbucks in there, man. Nah, Mr. Warbucks is cool. Don't give him 10 seconds. Nah. Let the homie talk, cause homie speaking some facts, you know. But them niggas, Bugs was fucking with D Mac, and D Mac was fucking with Eric B first, cause D Mac was a part of Eric B crew, and and Mike Concepcion and they was cool with them niggas, right? So Rockefeller, right? Juan and Malik Sealy was fucking with Bad Boy first, right? That was they crew. Yeah. Yeah, your info is valid. Your info is valid, Mr. Bullbuck. No, you a fact. Now, let me just say this, right? One, Malik Sealy was a real street nigga, just like Carlton Hines. He's one of the biggest hustlers in the Bronx that went to the NBA. R.I.P. Malik Sealy, right? Malik Sealy was one of the investors of Rockefeller Records with Biggs, OG Wan, and a couple other street legends from uptown that gave the money to Rockefeller. But originally, they was all fucking with Bad Boy first. They was down with Bad Boy, right? So niggas like Twan from Feds Magazine, shout out to Twan from Feds. I don't know if he watching, but shout out to Twan from Feds Magazine, who was responsible for that studio baseline getting built. Him and Malik Sealy and Juan and them. That's how baseline, because it came out the vision of Twan that basically was the investor, was Malik Sealy, who that was his studio. That was Malik Sealy, the basketball player that played with KG, played KG mentor, Malik Sealy. That was his motherfucking studio. But like I said, Rockefeller copied the bad boy formula, right? Now, what happened in Atlanta, this is facts. Facts. Money balls players. That's a fact. Now, and this is how, like, shout out to the Jersey niggas, because we gonna talk about the Jersey niggas like E.T. Hockador, Sheik Ali, and all that, because that's all from the same circle. All these niggas affiliated. Puff was the nigga that brought a lot of East Coast niggas in the rap game, you know, into the rap game. The Pistol Pete's, you know, the Valley Mob, all these niggas was getting into the rap game because Puff was opening the doors for these street niggas to get in the game in the 90s, you know. Puff, a lot of people don't know this. When Puff was in Howard, he worked for AB. You understand what I'm saying? That you heard Puff talk about he was doing hustling. He was hustling for AB from Mount Vernon. That's who Puff used to hustle for, right? Puff got in the game. He did what he did with Big and Uptown because Puff knew the streets. Puff was really the dude that knew the streets more than Andre because he was running around with the Valley Mob niggas, same gang niggas, YGs, 2-5 and Dutch and Guess and all them. And shout out to Maino and Money Mike and all them dudes, right? He was running with them YG niggas, you know. Yeah. Chris Lighty, cousin AB, you know. So that's why, like, when you look at Puff and Chris Lighty, like people like to say, "Oh, yo, Puff had something to do with Chris Lighty." Chris Lighty death had something to do with that shit that was going on with him and Henchman. Chris Lighty, and Puff started in the industry together. A lot of Puff crew and Chris Lighty crew is the same crew. That Valley Mall crew is Puff crew and Lighty crew. Cause Pint used to be with Chris Lighty. Pint, R.I.P., the one that Hassan Campbell stole his story, used to be with Chris Lighty. All them niggas over there, they was all in the same crew, you know? All in the same crew. All in the same crew. Puff, like I said, brought a lot of street niggas in the game. The Valley Mob, I don't care what nobody says, was basically, niggas talk about the Zulus, you had the Valley Mob. You understand what I'm saying? And the Valley Mob was putting pressure on anybody that tried to violate Bad Boy or anything or any type of extortion. It wasn't going down, man. You understand what I'm saying? And Chris and Puff brought that energy in the game that a lot of these niggas ain't had. Chris was the muscle for Russell Simmons and fucking Leo Cohen because Chris Lighty protected those niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because when Suge and Eric B, yeah, Eric B, because Eric B would take niggas beats, beat niggas up. Eric B was doing that. Smash the like button. Eric B was taking niggas records and putting his name on it. Eric B had the strong arm on niggas in the industry. Eric B go up there, cop them bags. They smacking up these label execs and they doing what they want to do. You understand what I'm saying? And when Puff and them came in and Chris Light and them got into that, they wasn't able to do that. But in the 80s, they was going upside Russell Simmons' head. That's why Russell Simmons, I don't respect Russell Simmons because Russell Simmons made Freddie Myers look like a piece of shit and Crush Groove. When that man He was that man worker. He invested in that man. Yeah, make sure y'all share the live, man. Make sure y'all share this live, man. We want this shit to go viral. But he was Freddie Myers' worker for years, man. Freddie Myers, you know what I'm saying, gave that man his money for Def Jam Records. You understand what I'm saying? And he made the nigga sound like he was JB that was beating it, having niggas beat his ass, which that didn't even happen, right? But he put that in Hollywood that yo, the nigga that gave me my money was beating my ass. You know? Yeah, Eric B had the strong arm on the industry. Like Eric B was the one that brought. Yeah, that was Freddie Myers they was talking about in Crush Groove. Freddie Myers was the one that gave Russell the money. JB is Freddie Myers. That character JB that y'all see in Crush Groove, that was loosely based on Freddie Myers. Freddie Myers was the man that gave Russell the money for Curtis Blow and for fucking Def Jam Records before he went to jail. And he never gave that man no nothing. No nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gave that man nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that man gave an investment to him to build his label, to even get his brothers and all them, and Curtis blowing all them. He gave that man that investment, and he never made good when he came home to help that man get a position at his job. See, Russell's a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Russell's a sucker. You know, and Bimmy was extorting him for years. Let's really talk about it. That's why he want to talk about, oh, Bimmy ain't never told. Bimmy ain't never told. Bimmy was extorting him. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got a job at Def Jam. You understand what I'm saying? These niggas be getting extorted, man. Just like Big U was extorting fucking Steve LaBelle, and Steve LaBelle and Big U was extorting Nipsey Hussle, and they did Nipsey Hussle dirty. You understand what I'm saying? I don't respect none of these dudes in the industry, man. They getting extorted, man. Like the nigga Big D that allegedly had something to do with Jam Master J Def. That nigga was extorting Leo Cohen. Yeah, they was extorting that nigga. They was extorting Russell, man. Russell was getting, they was in Russell pockets, man. They was in Russell pockets. Everybody was in Russell pockets, man. You know, Russell like told, oh, I was in the streets, I was dealing drugs and all this, and I was that nigga was a fiend, and that nigga was getting extorted, bro. Nigga was getting extorted, man. You know what I'm saying? That nigga ran. That nigga ran, man. He ran, man. You know? Yeah, Big Daddy Kane whooped his ass. Big Daddy Kane and them whooped his ass. They whooped Big D ass. And we ain't talking about Big D from Corona. We talking about Big D from Hollis, Queens. That son was trying to come home. That Tenard, and to speaking of Tenard, Tenard was extorting Tax Stone. Let me let that be known. Tax Stone got caught with that smuggling shit. He was smuggling that shit for Tenard and them. Tenard was protecting Tax Stone in jail, and they was extorting him. You know, Tenard is a real gangster. Big D's a CI snitch. That's why they can't prosecute him for the death of Jam Master Jay, because he's a CI snitch. He threw his son under the bus. He's a confidential informant. Been a confidential informant. He's another Bimmy. He's another Bimmy. Like Big D is another Bimmy. Like he's a confidential informant. You know, and Tenard is a rat too. But Tax Stone and Zip with the Drip was bigging up Tenard. Oh yeah, Tenard official, Tenard official. Tenard is a fucking vermin, bro. Tenard is a fucking vermin. And Tenard was basically um extorting and had the press game on Zip with the Drip in jail. You know what I'm saying? Tenard, when he was on the street, they was trying to roof him. You did? They was trying to roof him out here. But They had the press game on them. They had the press game. They had the press game on them. They had the press game on them. They had the press game on them in there. So like Big D, Big D was he went bad. He went bad. Him and the nigga, the Randy nigga, they went bad, man. They was mad that Jam Master Jay wasn't fucking with him. They wasn't fucking with him. Jam Master Jay, they did him dirty, man. How y'all do a nigga that's a legend in y'all neighborhood? Y'all do a nigga that's a legend, an icon in Hollis, Queens. Y'all do that to that nigga like that? That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? What homie said? I wanted to kill that nigga. He said I ain't trust that nigga. He said I was getting ready to use my gun on that nigga tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So them niggas, those are niggas that Russell and Steve Lobel and Leo Cohen and Kevin Lapp. These niggas that they associate with. The Big D's, the Bimmies. You know what I'm saying? Cause they think they real niggas. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like when it come, like I said, when it came to Bad Boy, man, it's like they had a different type of energy, man. That butt naked crew was and especially even Bad Boy and Violate and Rough Riders, man. Like even I had this conversation about Rockefeller, right? In my opinion, I felt like Rockefeller and Jay Z, right? Because I always wanted to say this about Jigga. When y'all look, salute. When I look at Jay Z's career, right, and I look at the dudes that was on Rockefeller, minus Cameron, minus Kanye, right, and I look at people like Beans that had a great albums that should have been promoted, but he was competition and they didn't promote Beans' album, right? I look at artists like a Petey Crack that never was able to release his album. And I look at what Jay Z really created Rockefeller for. Rockefeller was created for him to be only the star. And to me, Rockefeller is kind of overrated because nobody flourished over there. Beans, everybody else came later on Rockefeller. Rockefeller best artist, like Mr. Warbuck said, was Beanie Siegel. When he first came out in 98, from 98, 99, 2000, Beans was the best artist out of there, right? Jay-Z didn't want to see that man be as successful as him. So he blackballed. Let's just keep it real. He kind of low key blackballed Beans. And then what he did with Rockefeller was he made sure that he didn't have them niggas albums promoted. If you look at Bad Boy, right? If you really look at Bad Boy, niggas either win it platinum or gold. But the majority of niggas in the prime of Bad Boys rise, right? From I would say 94 to 2000 with Sean and Black Rob, Bad Boy has had success over what Rockefeller had, right? Rockefeller, you can't name, and I'm not talking about like during the times of Rockefeller going into their breakup stages. Cause I don't really look at like '02, '03, '04 a successful Rockefeller era because Rockefeller was really shifting. Kanye came late and dropped his album. Cameron came in '02. This is during the time they beefing. So when you look at like Beans was there. It was just Beans and Bleak, and really,
Beans ain't really get to flourish as an artist successful wise because originally the truth was never supposed to come out in 2000. The truth was supposed to come out in November of 1999. They pushed the truth back because Jay-Z Volume 3 came out, I think it was December or November of 99. That album came out. Yeah, Chris Sean was over there. Yeah, he was they didn't even promote that album. That was full of smoke and all that. But so they didn't promote that album, right? So when you look at that whole era, they was pushing niggas' albums back. They was pushing niggas' albums back. And Beans' album got pushed back, and then it was released. You know what I'm saying? And when his album was released, it came out in 2000, but it didn't have the promotion that it was supposed to have when it was supposed to be originally released in November of 99. But like Bean said, Hope Jay always put his album out every time I wanted to drop mine. You know? And that's what people don't understand is that he swagger jack. He swagger jack. He took from the Philly dudes, bit their whole style, bit their whole influence, and then ran with it. You know, they put Jay-Z records on the bonus records on Bleak album, on this Mill album. They putting like bonus Jay-Z joints on the albums. You know what I'm saying? Because it's promoting Jay-Z. It ain't promoting the albums. You know? And that was corny. Because you not letting these dudes shine, man. And Beans was one of them artists, man. If he'd have had the right, if he would have been under a bad boy, he would have did well. Or even a Rough Riders, he would have did very extremely well. Being under Rockefeller, he didn't get to do extremely well, even though his albums went gold. But it should have did. His albums was more than gold worthy. Be coming in my opinion is 4 to 5 times platinum. That's a solid album that should have went platinum, promotion wise. You know, and to me, it's like they didn't want him to go higher. They didn't want him to go higher. So that's just like I had the conversation about like when Jay was beefing with Vacant Lot. He blackballed Vacant Lot. They had a movement just like before Dipset ever came out. Vacant Lot had a solid movement because out that time you had Bad Boy, you had Rough Riders, and Vacant Lot. Vacant Lot was killing the mixtapes, you know. And Jay saw that Vacant Lot movement coming. He shut that shit down to the point where Dane Grease got blackballed. That Vacant Lot label got blackballed. Let's keep it real. So there was a lot of politics of what Jay was doing in the game, man. As an artist, and that's why now when you look at him and you see people be praising him, I be like, yo, that nigga blackballed. He blackballed a lot of niggas, man. Blackballed a lot of niggas, man, in the industry, man. And when you look at like when he talking about I'm the Mike Jordan of recording, you know, how you the Mike Jordan of recording, my nigga? You know, when you did a lot of sucker shit in the game, man. And a lot of these rappers be trying to act like they Jay-Z. That's just like what I was telling y'all early about the shit with the Rells Fargo shit. You know what I'm saying? These niggas, that nigga Jay-Z showed